Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H has been on the receiving end of some strong criticism due to certain creative decisions. It started from a lackluster WrestleMania 41 main event, where Hunter was blamed for John Cena versus Cody Rhodes not living up to the hype. Similarly, the finish for Jey Uso's World Heavyweight title match on Night 1 of Mania against Gunther also wasn't taken well by a section of fans. When the company uploaded the title celebration video at WrestleMania 41 on YouTube, it received more dislikes than likes. As of this writing, the video has so far received 51 dislikes against 17 likes. The message sent is loud and clear. Fans didn't like Jey Uso winning the World Heavyweight Championship. And now, there's another piece of bad news for Triple H. WWE's recent announcement of WrestleMania 42 returning to Las Vegas hasn't gone down well with fans. It was originally supposed to take place at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana, but in a surprising turn of events, the event has returned to Las Vegas. Triple H made the official announcement 3 days ago, and the video was uploaded on the company's official YouTube account. Fans haven't taken the decision well, and they are voicing their frustration in their own way. The video has received a staggering 11 dislikes against 3.5 likes so far. It seems that the company may be forced to change the venue, considering fan backlash. WWE recently went back on a major decision after fans voiced their opinions. The release of WWE superstar R-Truth was the most recent example of this. The 53-year-old legend was surprisingly released by the promotion after his match with John Cena at Saturday night's main event. Upon learning this, the fans went berserk on social media, and chants of "We Want Truth" reverberated across all social media platforms. As a result, WWE had to bring back Truth, and the former 24/7's champion stunned the fans with his return at Money in the Bank. It remains to be seen if WWE will go back on its decision to host WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, given the strong fan backlash. Triple H reportedly wasn't happy with R-Truth's return, and it was WWE President Nick Khan who had personally reached out to Truth to bring him back. When Hunter was asked about Truth's return at the Money in the Bank post-show press conference, he said that it was all part of the show. However, several reports later came up which said that it wasn't a work, and it was the fans' reactions that forced the company to change its decision. It was reported that the former 24/7's champion had been ignoring all calls from WWE for nearly a week, until Khan reached out to him personally. It remains to be seen how Truth will be booked in his second run in the Stanford-based promotion, now that he has adopted a more serious persona and is going by his real name. When not watching or writing about pro wrestling, Bilal loves to read books on politics and international relations, and sometimes crime thrillers. Bilal has been a pro wrestling fan since childhood, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being his favorite wrestler. One of his first memories is of the Final Boss confronting Hulk Hogan in 2002, which got him hooked to pro wrestling. Bilal is amazed by The Rock's unmatched dedication to everything he does. However, if he ever got a chance to go back to the Attitude Era and manage someone, it would be Goldberg. For over a decade, Paul "Triple H" Levesque has been a driving force behind WWE's evolution. First as the cerebral assassin in the ring, then as a master strategist behind the scenes, his handprints are all over the WWE product, especially the creative direction in the post-Vince McMahon era. But in June of 2025, trouble is brewing in Titan Towers, trouble that not even the game can easily overcome. It began with whispers, quiet murmurs from production trucks, cryptic tweets from talent, and a few uncharacteristic stumbles in WWE's weekly programming. But on the morning of June 10th, the whispers became a roar. A massive shakeup had occurred within the TKO Group Holdings boardroom, and the aftershocks were being felt across the wrestling world. Reports broke that several key executives at TKO, WWE's parent company, were growing uneasy with WWE's recent creative and financial trajectory. While WrestleMania 41 had broken attendance records in Las Vegas, and the new streaming deal with Amazon Prime had brought in billions, backstage morale was at an all-time low. More critically, top-tier talent were beginning to question their future under Triple H's leadership. Sources close to the situation revealed that a key investor had demanded an audit of WWE's talent spending and creative priorities, citing overdependence on legacy stars and confused brand identity. While fan-favorite storylines such as the Bloodline saga and the continued rise of Cody Rhodes had flourished, others, like the botched returns of Randy Orton and Ronda Rousey, and the inconsistent push of newer stars, left audiences and stakeholders frustrated. Triple H was reportedly blindsided. Locker room unrest. Behind closed doors, a different kind of war was brewing. While Levesque had earned respect for his work in NXT, redefining it as a wrestling-first brand, many on the main roster felt stifled under his vision. Several wrestlers, under the promise of character reinvention and long-term arcs, found themselves in creative limbo. Worse, AEW's steady climb in ratings, especially after acquiring NGPW content and hosting a wildly successful All in 2025 at Wembley Stadium, gave disgruntled WWE talent a legitimate alternative. Backstage, whispers grew louder. Multiple performers, including a few top names who asked not to be identified, reportedly walked out of a SmackDown taping in protest over abrupt changes to their creative plans. One source even claimed that a rising star refused to appear at Clash at the Castle in Edinburgh unless Triple H personally apologized for last-minute booking rewrites. Fans noticed. Chants of "We want change" broke out at Raw in Chicago. On Twitter, now called X, hashtags like #Freelia, #LethamWrestle, and #TripleHout trended worldwide. And then came the bombshell. Stephanie's silence. Stephanie McMahon, who had stepped away from WWE in 2023 citing personal reasons, had been unusually quiet since returning as a TKO board member in early 2025. For months, insiders speculated whether her reappearance signaled a power play, or perhaps a support system for her husband. But as the chaos unfolded, Stephanie issued a terse, carefully worded statement. Leadership requires reflection, responsibility, and evolution. WWE is built on those principles. We are listening. Those three words, "we are listening," sent the wrestling world into a frenzy. Was Stephanie breaking ranks with her husband? Compounding the chaos, AEW's president Tony Khan seized the moment like a true promoter. On the same night, WWE was reeling from a poorly received Raw episode. AEW announced a surprise signing. A former WWE World Champion, long rumored to be dissatisfied under Triple H's creative regime. But the bigger shock came when AEW announced a 12-city international tour, backed by streaming mega giant Netflix, aimed at directly competing with WWE's fall programming. Sasha Banks, CM Punk, and none other than John Cena, returning to pro wrestling, but not with WWE. Cena's departure, even if temporary, was a symbolic gut punch. For years, he had been a loyal ambassador. Now, he was openly endorsing the competition, saying, "Wrestling is about opportunity. Fans deserve options. That's why I'm here." Triple H reportedly took the news hard. Internal power struggle. Within WWE, the boardroom was in turmoil. Reports indicated that Nick Khan, WWE's president, had convened an emergency summit with TKO executives to re-evaluate strategic direction. Although the wording was diplomatic, insiders claimed that Triple H's creative control was under review. A plan was allegedly proposed to create a rotating panel of creative leads, diluting Levesque's authority and bringing in external consultants, including Hollywood screenwriters and sports marketing experts. The message was clear. WWE had become too insular, and Triple H, once seen as the company's savior, now faced being sidelined by the very machine he helped rewire. The fans, loyal and vocal, found themselves divided. Some rally behind Triple H, pointing to his successes and willingness to prioritize long-term storytelling over cheap pops. They remembered his passion, his battles with the McMahon machine, and his work restoring wrestling's credibility. Others, however, were fed up. Hunter's lost the pulse. One fan wrote on Reddit's Squared Circle, "He turned NXT into magic, but he's not scaling well. The main roster is a mess. AEW is cooking. We need a revolution. On YouTube, prominent wrestling analysts debated his future nightly. Some predicted his removal was inevitable. Others feared it would be the beginning of WWE's collapse into corporate sterilization, a wrestling company with no soul. As of mid-June 2025, Triple H remains in power, but cracks are visible in the foundation. He's scheduled to appear at Money in the Bank to address the WWE Universe in person, a rare move for someone who stayed mostly behind the scenes. Rumors suggest he will unveil a major storyline shakeup and new leadership structure designed to stabilize the company. The wrestling world has seen kings fall before. Hulk Hogan, Vince McMahon, Eric Bischoff, all once untouchable, all eventually dethroned. Triple H now walks the tightrope between legacy and relevance, vision and survival. For the first time in years, he is no longer the game.